What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the 2024 Subaru Ascent. This one is a touring model finished off in dark mahogany pearl. MSRP is right at $50,000. This is Subaru's newest 3-row family SUV with of course that rugged Subaru characteristics, so let's get right into it. Underneath the hood of the 2024 Subaru Ascent Touring, you're going to find the 2.4 liter turbocharged Boxer motor. It's a 4-cylinder engine paired to the CVT transmission that does feature an 8-speed shift mode. This also has Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, 260 horsepower with 277 pound-feet of torque. Max towing is also 5,000 pounds. This car runs on a 19.3 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 19 miles per gallon in the city with 25 out on the highway, and curb weight is around 4,600 pounds. Overall length is 196.8 inches with a wheelbase at 113.8. Width is 76 and height is 71.6 inches. Ground clearance is also around 8.7 inches. Moving on to the exterior styling, this definitely still looks like a Subaru, however it is much larger given the 3-row aspect. You got a nice set of LED headlights with LED daytime running lights in a cool C shape, and the headlights are connected to the steering to light your way around corners. You got the Subaru badge right up in front with a forward-facing camera, nice chrome trim, and then lots of openings to provide cooling to the intercooler as well as the radiators. Got some nice sharp lines down below with an LED fog light, and then this rugged plastic material for the front splitter. You have some ducts all in front to provide more cooling. Has a pretty good look. This does look like a rugged SUV. It's got a bold appearance, and then you have a lot of sharp contours throughout the hood just to add into the design. Pretty sporty overall with some chrome and black accents all throughout, and then on the side you're going to see that golf ball texture from the front end making its way around these front wheel arches. You got a set of 5-spoke wheels with a cool rounded design for all the spokes, two-tone color as well, and then you see a sharp bodyline for the front fender going all the way around. You can see more of that plastic material with some chrome trim, and then chrome on the door handles with gloss black mirror caps. Got the LED turn signal and side view camera, and then more chrome trim surrounding all the windows. This even has a set of roof rails up on top with a panoramic sunroof, and for the side profile you can see some similar characteristics to a Forester, however this is definitely a little bit taller and a little bit longer. So it's nice to see the same Subaru design throughout. Sharp body lines throughout the doors and rear fender, and then more of that texture for the rear bumper. You're going to see all of your parking sensors, reflectors, a massive cover for where the trailer hitch could be, and then you have all of your badging throughout. Yeah, more of that C shape on these rear taillights, large piece of glass, integrated spoiler with that third brake light, and a shark fin antenna up on top. Overall, this design really does come together, especially with that chrome trim piece front and back, and it's a pretty nice looking SUV. Onto the key fob, we have your lock button. The Subaru logo is your unlock. We have the liftgate release as well as a panic button, and then just a little bit of silver trim. When you keep the key fob in your pocket, you can just grab the door handle, it will automatically unlock. The Touring is going to get Napa leather trim seats, really nice brown color. You're going to see black accents along with some wood trim. On the door panel, you have a soft touch plastic up on top with this nice black vinyl material, and then that brown color on the padded armrest. Good grab handle along with all of your controls for windows, mirrors, lock and unlock. Some contrast stitching with that wood trim, then a little bit of chrome for your release handle. You have memory seating, storage down below, nice contours throughout that door. All your power controls are on the left side of the driver's seat, and then you get the nice leather material. You also have a leg rest, nice design with all the perforated leather throughout the centers, smooth leather on the far sides. Pretty luxurious seat, something I wasn't quite expecting in a Subaru. You're also going to notice a badge right in the center, a leather wrapped steering wheel with a little bit of silver trim. And then now inside the Ascent, keep my foot on the brake and go ahead and fire it up. All the screens are going to turn on. You also have a little bit of contrast stitching throughout that steering wheel. And then taking a look at the gauge cluster, you can see your tach and speedometer, a small LCD screen right in the center, and you can configure this just a little bit. I can scroll up and down throughout it and see a little bit of information that's going to pop up. And then if we take a look at the steering wheel itself, we have those controls on the left side along with Bluetooth and audio. And then on the right side, we have your cruise control settings along with forward pacing and steering intervention. You got your paddle shifters right here for the 8-speed shiftable CVT. And then on the far right stock, you're going to see all the controls for windshield wipers, and then turn signals on the left with headlights. On the left side of the steering wheel, there is a nice storage cubby, perfect for your cell phone. Then you have some switches down below for the tailgate lighting as well. You have some more of that contrast stitching, just some smooth, soft touch plastic rubber material across the entire dashboard. And the passenger also has a nice cubby for maybe another couple cell phones. Moving to the center screen, you have quite a lot of information in here, pretty much like every other Subaru. It's divided in different sections. In the bottom, you're gonna always have your climate controls. You can easily turn air conditioning on and off, heated and ventilated seating. Toggling right here, it'll give you more of a full screen for all the climate controls. You can see your temperature, you're able to sync it as well. And then we can easily just exit out. Up on top, you have a few engine vitals. You have compass, the water temp, your accelerator, and then you can scroll left and right, see a few more things that'll cycle through, even a shortcut for audio. If we go to the right side now, of course, we can go back to what we saw, get temperature icons, and then your X mode. You can see the 3 different drive modes. Audio right in the center as well. We have a home icon down below. You're gonna see a few nice tiles for different items, for Bluetooth audio controls, apps within the car. If I go ahead, put it into reverse, you have a backup camera that pops up with top-down view as well as your sensors. Now for being nearly a 12-inch screen, I will say it's kind of a tiny backup camera, so I wish that was a little bit better use of a massive screen. You do have some physical controls for volume, the temperature icons as well. You have tuning. So nice screen overall. There is some lag to it when you first start up the car. You have to wait quite a lot of time to go ahead and get those climates running. So some little drawbacks, of course, with everything in the screen. We also have this icon right here for your driver profile. We have a car icon you can toggle. See a few more things all throughout the car. Down below, we get a little bit of storage. You have some plugs down here, shortcut to the camera, cup holders in the center with an electronic parking brake, and some good padding for your armrest that actually has a contour to it for different shapes on the left and right side. So kind of neat to see that. We can open this up. You got a pretty good amount of storage space. And then the glove box is a nice bucket, as you would expect. One last look at the interior. The front end definitely looks like a Subaru. However, these seats and door panels are really luxurious. Very nice to see. Massive headliner finished in the light gray. You also have that massive panoramic roof. All of your controls are right here for the shade itself as well as the glass. And then we have the rear view camera, goes back and forth between a normal one and then your nice camera. And looking at the glass roof, definitely lets a lot of light in. Moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle, open it up. Door panel is going to be finished off just like we saw up front. You got that nice material for your armrest, the wood trim, and then you're even going to see a manual sunshade. These seats have manual controls on them, as you can see on the sides. You can slide them forwards and back as well. And you got all the nice materials with the perforations throughout the center, and then they are captain chairs with adjustable armrests. You're going to see climate controls back here for those seats with heated seats, different plugs. You can open that up for your 2 cup holders down below. And then up in the ceiling, you have grab handles along with those air vents. So sitting into the back seat with the Ascent. So if I pull the one lever, let's recline this a decent amount. This is a pretty roomy family SUV. I'm 5'11" with the driver's seat set at my height. I have great legroom and knee room, plenty of headroom, and a ton of light let in with all the glass. Armrests are in a great place. And obviously you can slide this forwards and back quite a lot to be extremely comfortable. No shortage of being a nice second row. Onto some of the functions of the second row. If you just pull this lever, that is the way you can easily get these out of the way and then walk right into that third row and take a look. If we go ahead and pull this back, very easy to do. You also have the one, which is your normal recline, and then this one. So if we pull this up, this will also do that same function actually as that one. You can easily slide this forwards and back. But with it all the way back, you can just grab this one now and it will go all the way down, folding nice and flat. And then after pulling the one lever to get these second row out of the way, you can easily climb into the third row. Sitting back here, I've gone ahead and popped up all the headrests. You can recline them just a little bit, as you can tell, between the 2 seats here. The seat itself is at a good position. It's not too low, where my knees don't feel like they're up in my chest. You're gonna see you have a little bit of storage along with cup holders. Air vents up on top as well, which is really good to see. And then if I pull this seat back, really easy to do. And with that, it's a little cramped on the legroom, but being captain chairs, of course, you can get yourself out a little bit. So for a 3-row vehicle, this is truly useful. At least 2 people will be nice and comfortable. The middle person, I don't know about that one, but honestly, for at least a 6-passenger vehicle, this will be pretty practical for fitting a lot of people in here. For the cargo area, there's going to be a button right underneath the Subaru badge. The power liftgate will automatically open up. and you can get a better idea of the recline angles for these rear seats. You have a pretty decent amount of storage space all back here to make this pretty practical, even with all these seats in use. And then right in the center, if we pull this up, you have some hidden storage space. You can also see the privacy cover. Now from here, you will have to manually push down these headrests. So not too bad. They seem to be spring assisted, at least for the most part. That one I had to push a little bit. So not the worst, actually, forgiven they don't just rotate down when you pull one of these levers. But here's the recline lever. You can get that out of the way nicely. Not really all too hard to do from back here. You can see that recline, and then with it all folded nice and flat. And also from here, super easy to just grab these and we can pull these up. Now from here, there's no way to get those second row down. So of course, we're gonna have to manually walk around, come back here, and then however you would like to do it, we can pull one down and at least get that flat. So a little bit of extra work comparing it to other vehicles, but you can see everything folded down, how nice it is versus with everything up. Setting off now in the Ascent, giving it some gas. I will say that turbo motor is nice. This thing gets up to 60 without really thinking. For a full 3-row SUV, honestly not bad. Now, CVT transmission I'm certainly not a big fan of. However, it's not bad. It kind of has gears in it, so it's like they've definitely programmed it to feel more like a traditional gear transmission. So it's not bad. I don't think the general person driving this probably really cares too much. It's a smooth enough power delivery, and it's plenty quick, which is a really good touch. Now sitting in here, this definitely looks like Subaru, which isn't bad. Again, a little laggy on the screen, that could be better. Everything else though feels really nice and luxurious, almost like maybe like a high-end Toyota or something. So this is pretty nice in here, and for 50 grand, not too crazy, I would say. There's other really strong competitors, so this is a very interesting segment with a lot of great other cars. However, this feels nice. The seats are incredibly comfortable. The steering's light. It's really just easy and effortless to drive this. I feel like I can get the seats in a great spot to where I just feel comfortable and can just rack up the miles. Great view out of the front, a lot of windows to make it super easy to see around. And over your right and left shoulder, honestly, there is plenty of glass. You don't have visibility issues. The camera up here works really good, insanely nice graphics too. So it's a great touch if you have a lot of people back there, because obviously those third row headrests, you couldn't see anything. So that's a great touch. I feel like overall it feels like a solid car. The suspension is absorbing all these bumps really well, and it doesn't really make all too many noises. Now in this segment, there are a lot of new 4-cylinder vehicles. Obviously Subaru has pretty much only ever made the Boxer motors. However, this engine sounds better, I would say, than the traditional inline turbos that we're seeing popping up in other brands. When you floor it a little bit, has a little bit more of a beefy tone. Not to say it's a race car, but it does sound better than maybe like a Grand Highlander. So nice to see some of that like beef in this car. Hitting the brakes, they also do a really good job bringing this down to a standstill. And I feel like it's built well to be something you can just take the family on a long road trip and you're not gonna get fatigued driving it. If we hit these big bumps, let's test that out. Really solid feeling. You know, some cars that doesn't feel too good, but this really does feel like it's built solid. It's built really well. And then of course with all the safety technology, the features in it, all-wheel drive system, it seems like a pretty good platform to be just your typical car. And given it's got the Subaru heritage, the DNA in it, you know, it has those off-road modes to where there is the rugged aspect. If you want to go up a mountain, you know, gravel trails or something, this is going to be something you're going to be able to go places with your whole family without having to buy like a Z71 Tahoe and spend, you know, $70,000, $80,000. So I feel like you're gonna get a good rugged family SUV out of this, and being the Touring, you have nice interior amenities. This actually feels like a higher end car, and it's pretty surprising. So honest thoughts now with the Subaru Ascent. This is the first time I've ever been in one. It's been cool to take a look at it for the last few days. I only have a few little complaints. One of them is the screen. I'm not the biggest fan. I think Subaru could make it less laggy. You know, when you first hop into this vehicle, given all the climate controls are in it, especially if it's a hot day, it takes a while for the screen to turn on. And then with the lag, sometimes I'll quickly try to hit the ventilated seats. I'll end up hitting it like 4 times and then they will just turn off. So that's a little frustrating. Obviously that's very nitpicky, but that's the world we live in where most things are instant. So I wouldn't mind just a software update, honestly, on the screen, make it a little bit more snappy and turn on quicker. Then I wouldn't mind those controls being on the screen. Second thing is, I wish the second row had some controls from the cargo area. We recently had the new Hyundai Santa Fe, and that was the perfect design of having just a little bit of power controls for the second rows to where you could really easily put all the seats up and down without having to walk around. So full manual controls I don't hate, because sometimes when they're all electric it's just way too time consuming to wait for all the buttons to go, but I wouldn't mind being able to do something with the second row from the cargo space. Other than that, there's no wireless phone charging, which I thought was a little odd for this particular spec, but that's about it. It seems like a nice option if you're looking for more of that rugged design of an SUV. Subarus are vehicles for adventure. You know, they want you to be taking these off the beaten path on a rugged trail somewhere, you know, cool. And this is the one you can take the entire family. You can have the dogs in the back, the luggage, the kids, and you can probably do any adventure with the family in this. And the fact that they've done a pretty good job adding actual luxury into this has really surprised me. You know, looking it up, this is Napa leather, and every trim level of the Ascent has nicer materials, from cloth seats to water repellent cloth to a water repellent vinyl to leather trimmed to then Napa leather. So there's like 5 or 6 different seat materials getting better all the way up to the top. I think that is a pretty good way to do it, to where you can get one of these a lot cheaper, you know, maybe 35, 40 grand, and you're going to get decent materials, kind of what you would expect in a Subaru. But then the fully loaded one, you know, right at that average price of other similar 3-row SUVs like the Santa Fe or a Grand Highlander, and yet you're getting luxury feeling materials and a really good ride. It's not noisy in here. You don't hear the wind noise, the road noise, or anything like that. So they've done a good job making this have that extra luxury touch that I think a lot of buyers are starting to demand, especially if you're dropping $50,000. If I'm spending 50 grand, you know, I better not be hearing wind noise and road noise and the suspension hitting bumps as I go slightly off-road in that turn. It better be absorbing those bumps to where I can drive this in comfort. And knowing that this Subaru is for the rugged path, you know, you're going to be able to go off-roading with those drive modes. You know, I know this is going to be pretty confident to be going up and down a gravel road. You got the all-wheel drive, one of the best all-wheel drive systems out there. Subaru knows how to do all-wheel drive. Not a bad option if you're looking for the more rugged, semi-luxurious family SUV. That's pretty typical price point with the competition. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content. I'll see you all in the next video.